Good evening, good morrow, and good night. Chris Crust, Drunken Nerd, here again with my Beer Here podcast. Still flying solo because apparently I don't have any friends, which is okay because I'm a nerd, and we make our friends up in our imaginations, correct? Yes, not sad at all. Moving on. This is where I talk about nerdy things that matter to me and review a particular beer that I've never had before, give you my honest opinions on it, maybe pique your interest in trying it out. So, going into this one right here, tonight I found something that, as a beer drinker and an avid fan of the consumption, I was surprised that I had never heard of before, and that's cold brew beer. So I could have looked it up to see what it was before filming this, but I didn't feel like it, so that's a thing. Just gonna get right into it then, and I have the Shiner Cold Brew Coffee Ale, and Shiner is an excellent beer company. They have one of my favorite summer beers, which is the Prickly Pear Ale, and apparently it's also in collaboration with a Chameleon Cold Brew, so it's birthday beer. Check that out. So happy birthday to Shiner, or Chameleon, whichever one, or both. So we're going to crack her open. And this is a 5% alcohol content, nothing extreme, but better than your standard piss swill. So it's got that going for it. The color is actually not as dark as I thought it was going to be. It almost has more of an amber hue, like a red ale. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Okay. Wasn't expecting that at all. Damn good, but wasn't expecting it. It's not hinted with coffee, like there's not like little coffee notes. Like, I could have that for breakfast and suffer the judgments. It is very, very much like drinking just a nice cup of iced coffee. No heavy bitter aftertaste, very smooth drinkability. So if you like coffee, if you like beer, I would definitely recommend this for you. Hell, if you don't like beer, if you just like coffee, maybe this is your chance to give beer a try, or vice versa. Either way, if it piques your interest, check it out. Now, you may have noticed something a little different about my appearance. Still not sure which way I want to take this show, so I thought I'd try and switch it up this time and get a little fancy with it. So I've got my blazer here, I've got my top hat on, and I've got my fancy topic cards here. You know, very top of the line there. They're stickers. It's what they are. I don't know. So, anyways, my topic cards just gonna help me. I found a few stories throughout the week that interested me, and I took some notes on them so that I could talk about them tonight. And just to give you a rundown, CW picks up Constantine, Nintendo Switch, oh yeah, release date and price point. I'm excited. Take that shit. Monster Trucks. That's a movie. That's not Monster Trucks. That's a note I made about movies. So yeah, the rest of the news is some movies that I want to get into that are coming out this month. So let's just get right into this, shall we? Now, Constantine, picked up by CW. Smart move on their part. Could be good. I certainly liked seeing him in the Arrow episode. I didn't watch the season, 2 seasons? What was it, 1, 2 seasons that it was on before? I just didn't get around to it. There was so much going on, and then they canceled it, and I don't really watch things that have already been canceled. But I did like the actor that they had for him. Obviously, he's going to be better than, for the American film. I mean, one thing, this guy's actually British. My issue with Constantine is if you know Constantine in the comics, you know how hard it is to do Constantine in a standard cable format. If I had it my way, all of my comic book shows would just move to Netflix. That's what I'm looking at my TV with the Netflix right now. That's what I'm doing over here. But all of my comic book TV shows would move to Netflix because you can remove the restrictions. They've already proven how well they can do it, and you could really, and it's marathon episodic, so you don't get lost in the plot the way that you do with some of the convoluted bullshit on the other shows. Anyways, could be good. I fear that some of the shows on CW are starting to go the route of Smallville on WB, so hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully this is another fine addition to their lineup. Nintendo. I called it. Motherfuckers, I knew this shit, and anyone who knows me well enough knows that they couldn't get me to shut up about it, actually. They were pissed off. Shut your damn mouth. They tell me that about most things, but especially this. When Nintendo announced that the Wii U would not be their next-gen console, that it was a stepping stone to their next-gen console, I had a feeling. Nintendo's primary profit lies in their mobile market. The technology for mobile devices is improving constantly. It only makes sense that we would finally have a console that can be your at-home console that you take and you plug in and you set up and you play, but then you could also take with you and move wherever you want to go, and not stream from the device at home, but actually take the hardware of the device itself with you anywhere you are. Adding in the extra screen, and apparently I'm doing my Jeff Goldblum impersonation right now. Adding in the extra screen will obviously it takes it to a whole other level, because it does add that multiplayer effect that you can do where you just take it, set it up, and play it with anybody. So I'm very excited for this, and I think it's going to be huge popularity. Launches on March 3rd at $2.99 is the price point, but I believe if you want all three of the games that come with it, there's a bundle for $4.47 or something like that. But I don't know much about the other two games, so I probably won't pick that up. I do not usually advocate pre-orders, but I would think about going online and checking into pre-ordering this, because I have a feeling that it is going to be huge. It is going to blow up, and it is going to sell out fast. Of course, that could be just me sticking my balls in my mouth. So, another reason that I am extremely excited for this system coming out, we are finally getting the new Zelda game that we have all been waiting for. It's been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, but you can't really get pissed about it. I mean, you can get pissed about it. We're nerds. Pissed about fucking anything, any kind of irrational bullshit we can get pissed about. I do get pissed about. But I'm saying in this scenario, maybe do not, because when Nintendo pushes back a game, it's usually because they are perfecting it. Think about Smash Brothers. Think of how long it was pushed back, and then how good it was when it finally came out. So, pushing back Zelda, finally coming out with the Nintendo Switch. You could get it on the Wii U. As far as I understand, it's still going to be available on the Wii U. But I'll probably pick it up on the Switch because I want the Switch. Why not? It's just one more reason for me to have the Switch. Badass game, badass console. So pretty stoked about that. Now, I want to talk about movies, but I want to make something perfectly clear when it comes to movies. I am going to talk about movies that interest me. And I'm going to talk about nerdy movies mostly throughout the series of these videos, but I am not going to see every movie. I'm not going to see every nerdy movie. One, I don't have the bankroll for that. Shit gets expensive. And two, I don't have the patience for that. Shit, it can be shit. So, not going to see all the movies, but I will kind of touch base on movies that pique my interest, even if it's not, I have no intention of seeing them at the time or if I have not seen them yet. So, this is not a movie that piques my interest, though. Talking now, I'm going to talk about a movie that when I saw the trailer a year or so ago, I didn't think it was real, but I knew it was because it's the world we live in now. Oh, damn. In a world where directors like Kevin Smith are harassed and torn down for making a fun and enjoyable film with his daughter, some studio said, fuck yeah, to monster trucks. And it is what the title says it is. It's a monster or monsters inside trucks. It's worse than Battleship. Looks worse than Battleship. It would have to go a long way to not be worse than Battleship. So, I mean, it's going to have to go a long way not to just be a pile of crap shit. I'll be honest with you. I don't have any intention of watching it. Maybe if I'm drunk one night and it's on Netflix, we'll check it out. But I just wanted to shine a light on that because it is truly mind-blowing to me that is something that got made. So, I guess nothing should surprise me anymore. First movie that comes out this month that already came out this month. I think Monster Trucks came out this month. It came out already too. By the time this goes up, I think the 13th is when it came out. As well as Live by Night. Looks really good. Affleck stars it. I think he might have directed it. I don't know. I didn't look up enough stuff about it because I don't really intend to see this in theaters. I'm going to watch it on DVD when it comes out because it's one of those things that kind of interested me, but I'm not sure I'd want to pay money and sit through it. But Affleck, we know he's got talent. One thing I will say, though, this will probably definitely be a better film than his other movie this year, Dawn of Justice. So, at least we have that to look forward to. So, if you maybe don't really have any interest in seeing this movie, but you have interest in seeing anything that's going to be better than Dawn of Justice, hey, there you go. Underworld. Underworld is another one of these like movies that I really enjoy that I know isn't necessarily good. It's kind of popcorn film, but I don't care. It's one of those things that interests me enough that as long as they keep putting out elements of the story, I will keep trying to consume them. They can take my money. But much like Resident Evil, it's something that I'm going to stop watching in theaters. It's just going to be like a DVD when it comes out. Like, cool, it's out now. I'll watch that. Rainy day in summer when I ain't got shit to do, I'll be browsing Amazon and be like, oh yeah, Underworld put out another movie. Let's check that out. So I'll throw it up. Anyways, Underworld. Thanks for that. Thanks for saving me from boredom on a rainy summer afternoon. My index cards are sticking together. My stickers are sticking together. Final thing I want to talk about, final movie I want to talk about this time around. Triple X. Yes, bitch. It's happening. I think Vin Diesel is awesome. Not because he's a great actor, but because he is a great action star. He is in that vein of the old school classics, the Stallones, the Schwarzeneggers, just the big muscly guys that just punch people in the face and you don't really understand what they're saying, so they don't have to say a lot, but as long as they're hitting people, you're still rooting for them. And that is what Vin Diesel is. And so I am very excited to see him back in Triple X. I am also very excited to see him being an old man in Triple X, and I say that because you don't think of Vin Diesel's really looking like an old man until you see him in jorts, like some jean shorts, or maybe he was wearing khakis, whatever. He was wearing shorts on the longboard going down the streets, and something about it was just like, Grandpa, get the hell off my board, you're going to hurt yourself, you don't know what you're doing. I don't care what you used to do as a kid. It's not for you. You don't understand it. So, but Vin Diesel, he can be a skateboarding grandpa. That's fine. I don't care. Give a shit. As long as he punches enough people, as long as there's enough explosions, We get some TNA in there, you know. I'm just going to sit back, shut my mind off, and let the testosterone flow. You know what I'm saying? That is the point of those movies. That is how I want to enter the year, cinematically speaking. Just a popcorn film that doesn't really have a lot of try hard in it. You know, just is what it is. So that's where I will be doing, going in with my expectations here. And if they happen to get bumped a little bit, hey, all the better. So Triple X, I'm excited, and it'd be kind of cool if Ice Cube shows up a little bit. Like, I know that movie flopped, but they didn't really ignore Tokyo Drift in the Fast and Furious series. You know what I'm saying? Like, once they realized that some fans kind of like that shit, they kind of paid homage to it so they could try and grab those fans. So let's do that. Let's try and grab those fans that actually like the Ice Cube Triple X movie. If for no other reason than we can see Ice Cube giving that damn stare to Vin Diesel, you know, like a fucking high noon stare down and shit right in the middle of the flick. Yeah, you could take my money right now for that shit. So, anyways, that's all I got to talk about this time around. If you liked it, you know, share it, subscribe it. I'm going to try and put out every week with videos like this, and hopefully I get a co-host soon because this shit's getting awkward. And let me know your opinions on if you tried this beer, if you are going to try this beer, and on my fancy look, you know, if I should keep the duds. What's up? Should we keep this, should we keep classing up the joint? Alright? Thanks for tuning in. Beer Here Podcast. Chris Crust, Drunken Nerd, signing off.